welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Let's go. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you back. We are back in the streets after a busy day yesterday. We got another busy one today. Only 2 games last night, but we'll talk about that. We got a good one today. We're going to get you caught up on all the chaos that happened yesterday after we were done live streaming the Cash Patel all the words they were saying, you know, like, well, if you bet against the U.S. government, prepare to move all in because we have a royal flush. Hashtag no kinks. I don't know. What we're going to do today, we'll go over some of that, the developments and fallout from that, what's to come. We'll get into last night's games. We'll look at tonight's stuff, all that fun stuff. Who do we got in the chat, though, before we get cooking, Matic Auto, smoke some. You love to see it. Common Man, all right. Boston Base, hold that L, bro. We got Wydad in the chat. What's up, Mike? So I got second yesterday. Had to stop by. You know what? Before we talk about gambling problems, let's talk about Mike's gambling. Here we go. Let's see what we did last night. Let's see what we did. Bang, bang. Second place finish on the Underdog app for 5K, baby. We had Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He dropped 79. Siakam gave him 58. Jamal Murray, who was insane in the first half, 49. Gordon with a 50 burger had 63. AJ Mitchell there with a 37-60. He was a swap for our guy Kaysen Wallace, who was ruled out. And then Obi top on him. We got a nice little 5K season to 5K hit. To start almost even for the week is hilarious. But we're back, boys and girls. We're back. The NBA is back, and so is Mike Zakarian. That was a fun little hit. I'll be honest, too. I looked at this lineup. It was like at the end of the third quarter of the first game, and I was like, wow, this one actually has a shot, I think, with Gordon and Murray going. And then I went and looked at the guy in first. The guy in first beat the piss out of everybody. Look at this real quick. Daddy Dom, I guess I have to change my name to Mikey Subs as I was underneath this, my Dom. Daddy Dom. Similar lineup, SGA, Siakam, Jamal, Gordon, and AJ Mitchell. But instead of Obi Toppin, he somehow had Benedict Mathurin. Not really sure how Benedict Mathurin fell all that way. But that was a fun little hit. Fun start to the season. And we're back, baby. We are so back. I put some of that into the So Rare Street, some of that into my savings account, and then back into tonight's slate, which when we go, I got some early takes on today's slate, which we'll do towards the end of this. And then one more little plug thing tonight, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Elite Fantasy Sports channel. I believe we already created that stream. The stream team. Hold on, let's just pull it up so you can see it. We'll be live tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern, taking a look in a book. It's Reading Rainbow at the So Rare NBA slate. We'll do some pick'ems and stuff like that over there as well. You'll see. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's share screen. So we'll be there at 5 o'clock, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. Come hang out. See, there it is. Look at this. Look at Cooper Flag, Mike Zakarian. You love to see it. That'll be at 5 o'clock. Let's like that stream. Let's get those likes up early and often. All right, let's go. We need an oversubs just for Mike Betts. You're right. You sniped me on Karl Anthony Towns in the fifth, though. Hey, we'll talk about it. I actually don't think he's playing tonight, but that's too late, man. That's just too late not to get him. Let's talk about last night's stuff. Also, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, all the things. Yesterday's stuff, excuse me. So the more that was sitting with us, when we left this stream yesterday, when we left yesterday's NBA bit, it seemed like there were 2 different things that were happening, right? In the umbrella, there was Terry Rozier over here with being like, sports betting is bad. Don't do that. Don't do what I did, Terry. Right? And then there was the Chauncey Billups thing. And it seemed like there were 2 separate things that were happening. The Chauncey Billups was more poker, that he was, we get Snoop Loop, Happy National Baloney Day. But that it was like a separate thing, that he was doing these rigged games. And that he was what was called a face card, which was essentially like, hey, did you hear Chauncey Billups was playing poker tonight in this game? And so by having Chauncey there, maybe some of these poker pros or these rich bros would come hang out just to like rub knobs, just rub shoulders. I don't know why we said knobs with Chauncey Billups, right? Hobnob. I think I was going for hobnob. That's what it sounded like. And then for whatever reason, I don't know why the FBI reported it in the way that they did. But I saw Pablo Torre shared some stuff here, And I figure we start with this because this to me seems like way more damning than anything else that we talked about. So I couldn't believe this was kind of glossed over by the federal government, who seems really on top of their shit. So this is from Pablo. He said, after reading the two DOJ indictments, it seems pretty clear that Chauncey Billups is a central figure in both the poker and betting investigations, which are intertwined in multiple other ways. He isn't named in the latter, but the allegations of co-conspirator 8 are huge. Ready? Now, co-conspirator 8 is an individual whose identity is known to the grand jury, was a resident Oregon, or Oregonian, lived in Oregon. Co-conspirator 8 was an NBA player from approximately 1997 through 2014 and told an NBA coach since at least 2001. Now, this kind of feels like one of those things where, like, like you're hosting trivia, like I do. You're playing a trivia game, and with each clue that comes out, you get like less points. So if you were like co-conspirator 8, an individual whose identity is known to the grand jury was from Oregon, and you were like Chauncey Billups, that's like 10 points, right? Was an NBA player from 97 to 2014, then you go Chauncey Billups, that's only like 4 points. And then when they say an NBA coach since at least 2021, that is Chauncey Billups. You get no points at that point, because that narrowed it down to fucking nobody. I also since at least 2021 is just kind of funny. Like, there's no reason to phrase it that way. But anyway, so that's so clear. Now, ready? Now we go to this. Now we go to this part. So a little bit longer, but this is from the indictment. On or about March 24th, 2023, the Portland Trail Blazers played the Chicago Bulls. Prior to the game, the Trail Blazers record was 32-40, and the team was out of playoff contention with only 10 games remaining in the season. Prior to that game, co-conspirator 8 told the defendant, Eric Ernest, who was also involved in the poker scandal, BT Dubs, Eric Ernest, that the Trail Blazers were going to be tanking. Now, this ended up being the Scoot Henderson pick to increase their odds of getting a better draft pick in the NBA draft. Co-conspirator 8 told Ernest before the news was publicly announced that several of the Trailblazers' best players, including player 1, we can only assume is Damian Lillard, an individual whose identity is known to the grand jury, would not be playing in the March 24th game. The information that the Trailblazers would be tanking and not playing Damian Lillard was not available to the public, including the betting companies. So that means he's just out there. He's just out there giving out information that's not available. Now, I was listening to a little bit of Zach Lowe, and I was listening to I caught a little bit of Bill Simmons pod, but honestly, TBH, I fell asleep because it was late. It was after the Nuggets game. Your boy won 5K. We were celebrating. By that I mean on my head on the pillow. There, like, is there anything wrong with Chauncey Billups after a tough day at the office? He's like, man, he goes and sees his boy, maybe him and Eric Ernest or blood brothers, right? Or whatever. I mean, like, actual blood. That wasn't like a gang reference. But maybe they're just having a beer after the game. And they're like, man, can you believe it, dude? We can't even try to win anymore. We got word from up above. We got to shut him down. We got to go get a draft pick. And then Eric turns around and is like, hey, we got to go bet on this, right? But Eric clearly being involved in the illegal poker games, like this to me is like clear sharing information. Now, again, all this alleged, like, wait till it's proven in court, blah blah blah. But like, how do you get into this spot, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, what had to have had? It makes me wonder, like, if Chauncey, got involved in. And again, I don't know anything, so I'm just talking off the top, and maybe that's irresponsible. But it's like, how do you get put in this spot? And the same thing with Terry Rozier. And like, gambling's an addiction. And so maybe that's, or gambling can be an addictive thing. And maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what we're talking about here. But man, it just seems to be really damning. And the Terry Rozier stuff sucks too. Now, Terry Rozier, I think I'm not sure if that happened during the show or maybe that was later in the afternoon. But Terry Rozier's lawyer commented on to Pablo, being like, we were actually, let me just pull up the actual quote. Let me pull the actual quote from Pablo. Pablo, who was trading barbs with our guy Shams there. Let's see where it is. Terry Rozier. Oh, hold on. Oh, no, that's not. Here's the statement. Sorry. It's all right. Weisberg with his take in the chat. All right, so Terry Rozier's lawyer gave a statement to Pablo. He said, "We have represented Terry for over a year. A long time ago, we reached out to the prosecutors to tell them we should have an open line of communication. They characterized Terry as a subject, not a target. But at 6 a.m. this morning, they called to tell me FBI agents were trying to arrest him in a hotel. It is unfortunate that instead of allowing him to self-surrender, they opted for a photo op. They wanted the misplaced glory of embarrassing a professional athlete with a perp walk. That tells you a lot about the motivations of the case. They appear to be taking the word of spectacularly incredible sources rather than relying on actual evidence of wrongdoing. Terry was cleared by the NBA, and those prosecutors revived that non-case. Terry's not a gambler, but he's not afraid of a fight, and he looks forward to winning this fight." A couple of things from this, man. Let's focus on the first part. Like, I think Terry and his team is looking for credit for being like, hey, we brought this to the league's attention, I guess. And I don't know, maybe he was getting extorted. There was talk of blackmail, right? Wow, Weisberg said, but all right, Stan just coming in choosing violence. And that he's being extorted or whatever. But like clearly Terry was involved in some stuff. And that is a problem in itself. So like, even though maybe he was, opting to be the subject versus, I don't know. The other thing that I wanted to bring up here is that the NBA cleared it. So who screwed up here? So who screwed up? Is it the FBI who wouldn't be stunned? But there's a lot of different government organizations working together on this, as we saw by the 455 white dudes that were standing up on the podium. Are we saying that they did a bad job with this, or is it the NBA who, when's the last time the NBA's had a successful organization, right, or a successful investigation? So, and Matty Harrison is probably with the right point that the NBA didn't screw up; they didn't want to find anything. And so I don't know. I think that is going to be another conversation that is going to be ongoing. And the timing of it is just so fascinating too, just with everything that's going on with the Kawhi Leonard stuff. And not that they are the same thing. They are obviously not the same thing, but more of the point of like, can you trust the institution to follow through? Wait, this is supposed to be inside info that the Blazers were going to tank when they were no longer in playoff contention. Everyone could have seen that coming. Power Duster, absolutely. But I hear what you're saying, right? Like, they were already starting to lose. They were 32-40, but that was the first game they shut everybody down. And so if all of a sudden there's a ton of money coming in before, because the teams are required to submit injury reports in the morning, right? Or the night before if they are on if they're not on a back-to-back. I believe that's the case. And then you get an updated shoot around, and then again before the game starts. So that is still, I mean, that's stretching it there to be like, well, we knew that they were going to be tanking. Well, then why didn't they make those massive bets the day before? So I mean, it is. That's basically insider info. That's not available to the public. And listen, I'm not trying to say we need to be making sure those betting companies are getting their money right. Like, I don't give a shit about that. But that is, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. That's Pete Rose stuff. That is Pete Rose stuff. That's betting on stuff. So I don't know. I forget where I was going with it initially. Oh, about trusting the organizations to actually run or institutions to be able to run investigations. I think we should go back to one other point of this comment from Terry Rozier's lawyer of just saying like this was clearly a publicity stunt. I think both things can be true. I think this is definitely a problem that needed to be investigated. I would imagine guys like Terry Rozier, Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, although Damon Jones, the texts that were released from Damon Jones about him saying like, don't forget, I got to eat or something. That's not great, Bob. We'll talk about the Damon Jones thing here in a second, but clearly Chauncey and Terry, it seemed like they were getting leaned on by other organizations. So if that's, yeah, whatever. But let's go back to how much that it was shown. Wait, how much did the line move on that game after the announcement? I mean, dude, so ready? If you go look at the Blazers scores here, like the night before, because we looked it up, right? We looked it up. Blazers what was it? March 24th game, right? So, what was it? 2023. It was the Bulls. All right, so here we go. I'm going to pull up the box score here. The Chicago Bulls, who also were a team that finished under 500, right? This team finished under 500, so they weren't a good team. They weren't a good team. The Bulls won 124-96. All right, 124-96. Let's look at the box score. The Chicago Bulls ran out Patrick Williams, RIP, really, Vucci Maine, Pat Beverly, Alex Caruso, and Zach LaVine. All right, this was the Portland Trailblazers starting. Drew Eubanks, Trendon Watford, Ryan, Archie Adano, Matisse Thybulle, Shaedon Sharpe, a young Shaedon Sharpe. Off the bench, Kevin Knox the second, John Butler the junior, Jabari Walker, Scam Reddish, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. All right, are we able to, oh man, I would love to see the game before. So what did we say this was? March 24th? Let's look at the roster on March 23rd here. March 23rd, Blazers game. Oh, wait, what did we say? 2023. God, it keeps showing me the fucking Brooklyn Nets for 2025. Portland. All right, well, let me just look at the schedule. All right, so this was the 2022-2023 schedule. All right, let me pull this back up so you guys can see it here. We got Stubbs in the chat. Good to see you, Stubbs. Saw that you snuck in a little Cash Sports. A Cash Splash Sports W there. Congrats, sir. All right, so that was the 24th. So they played the Jazz 2 nights before. 127-115. Now they won this game, but not only did they win this game, Damian Lillard played 34 minutes, had 30 points. Yusuf Nurkic played 31 minutes, had 20 and 4. So after this game right here, Damian Lillard stopped playing basketball for the Portland Trailblazers. It just seems, but the Power Duster, I feel like you are purposefully avoiding this part, like ignoring this part. Damian Lillard, their best player, their franchise player, played 2 days before, then did not play for the rest of the season. And the information that Chauncey has allegedly shared with this guy, Eric Ernest, who has underground poker mafia ties, who is listed in both of the indictments, tells him, hey, Damian Lillard is not going to play basketball anymore. That's very different. I think that's, I don't know. I think that's pretty different. So I think that's like willfully ignored. You're like, right. Yes, they could tank, but like, I don't think people were betting the Blazers money line. You know what I'm saying? Or the Bulls money line to that one. But when before the information's come out, before the lines were already thrown out there, before the betting line even comes out, all of this money comes in, or not before the line comes out, before the injury reports are listed. All of this money comes in on Chicago. I don't know, man. I don't know. That feels bad. But I wanted to go back to making fun of the government here for a second in that, clearly they waited until what was this? Game 2? Game 2 of the, or a game. Yeah, it was the second night of the NBA's second night. Wembanyama goes for like 40 and 15 or whatever it was. Just a beautiful, beautiful night. Power Duster says, gotcha. No, trying to understand. It just seems super obvious and a super dumb move by both. Yes, both of those are true. Both of those are true. Also, don't put Mark Cuban on him. No. Don't put that. That's not Mark Cuban energy. All right. Where was I going with that? Where was I going? Oh, but yeah, they clearly were out there just being like, hey, let's make an absolute public display of this. We think the NBA is too woke against the government, so let's go do it. Like a tech with the smoking gun, like a text telling the dude Lillard is sitting. That is, I believe it is. I believe they have, and I can't quote it for sure. Maybe Weisberg, who probably went over it with a magnifying glass. I'm pretty sure they have texts. Or so they got to have something, but that they were indicating like, hey, player 1 is not playing anymore. And player 1, according to the grand jury, is supposed to be Damian Lillard. But anyways, yeah, clearly the government was just trying to like wink, wink. Look at us. We're so strong to, I wouldn't say it's weird because I don't think they're doing it to distract you from everything else as I put on my tinfoil hat here and afraid to get political. But I don't think it's a distraction like that. This isn't an important thing. I think this stuff is important, and that if it is creating unfair advantages and people are profiting off of, especially if other people are losing money because people have an unfair advantage, that shit should be punished in the same way that, like, if that's happening on Wall Street, which it is, then that stuff has to be punished as well. That has to be punished as well. But I mean, they're making the spectacle of it all is definitely to be like, hey, look, see, we do have our shit together. I know we have people arresting. Not arresting's too strong of a word, because when you get arrested, you usually like get read your rights and you understand what's going on. But what's happening right now in a lot of cities around America is people without any sort of proper identification. And I don't mean people without their legal documentation. I'm talking about fucking not police. I'm talking about like a government agents are just able to just like snatch people up. And so instead, and and just be wrong and it'd be fine. That's what we're doing right now. And so instead of actually talking about that, or instead of talking about Epstein file or anything, instead of all of that shit, we're like, hey, dude, hey, Chauncey Billups, Mr. Big Shot? The league that put educational reform on the back of jerseys back in the bubble? The league that canceled the game after what happened in Milwaukee? Let's make sure we stick it to them. Anyways, do you feel bad for people losing money betting outside of the casino? Isn't the illicit nature part of the appeal? No. Yes, I do feel bad. No, I don't think that's a part of the appeal, especially in these high-end games when it's with like celebrities and professionals and stuff like that. I don't think that's part of the appeal. I don't think people are like, ooh, we're doing something bad. Maybe it is for like 1%, but they are specifically targeting people with money just going to do it. So fish going to fish, though. I mean, what? So now we're blaming the people. Okay, hold on. If this is your take, I never want to see you guys tweet about prices going down again. All right? Fish gonna fish. I never want to see another Top Shot tweet. I never want to see another stock tweet. I never want to see another So Rare price tweet, because then everybody else is just a dumbass. I guess more of a reason to take unders versus overs. Yeah, I mean, I think that is going to be the conversation moving forward is are they going to have a better feel for like what is available, what is the betting menu, like and that was the conversation we had about Jonte Porter, and everybody were like, oh, we'll see some reform for sure. Everybody had the same take. Why are we allowed to bet on Jonte Porter to begin with? Bet on Scotty Barnes. Bet on RJ Barrett. Why are we betting on Jamal Sheed? And there was no change of it. There was no change. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Power Duster saying the timing is super sus considering the investigation has been going on for years. Yeah. Listen, I'm with you guys. All right, that's 25 minutes. I think we did it. Should we talk about basketball? Does anybody else have a take on it? Does anybody else have a take? Sorry to get political in the morning. I'm usually everybody knows where I stand on stuff, but I don't yell about it into the microphone, which I think, is something a needle I try to thread. Because I don't, sometimes this is an escape for people sometimes, I think. And, you probably don't tune in for it. No one's here for Zakarian's take on this stuff. But I do think, I also don't want to be the person that doesn't say anything. So have you seen that Netflix documentary about these high-end backroom games? I don't know. I don't know if I have, actually. I feel like that's the one I should have said. Stan says, let's get ready to yell. I tell you what, we're going to do back-to-back videos. We're going to do let's get ready to yell. We'll do a mental health check, and then let's get into some of last night's games. And then if you have more shit on this, we can get into it. Who's ready to yell?
Well, the top.
All right, here we go. Let's do this because this is for Jump Shoot, who said fish got a fish.
Hey man, I noticed that some of my Series 2 moments, I spent a lot of money on them and it's not worth as much. So, Jacob, can you make it worth more?
I love that. I'm going to slightly make fun of this take, DJP, but like in a fun way. because I think I know what you're saying here, but I like that you're like, I think everything happens for a reason, and there was a reason for this timing. We might just not know why. And I like that because you could say that about fucking anything. You could say that about literally anything. You're like, yeah, sometimes I poop at 10, sometimes I poop at 10:30. And I know there's a reason for it, and I just don't know why. All right, let's get into last night's NBA action. We had two games, two awesome games, by the way. We've been treated to prime time. We've been treated to prime time. And before we even do that, I just want to say, man, I'm here for Tim Legler. I am. Tim Legler is great. He's made Richard Jefferson, who I do like. I think Richard Jefferson gets a bad rap sometimes because Richard Jefferson's like fake cool in the sense that not fake cool. That's not fair. But like he's cool, but he's older now. He's me. I guess he's me. But I think Richard Jefferson and Legs are pretty good together. It seems Legler was the right energy. I really enjoyed the broadcast. This was an awesome game, and I've got a lot of respect for the Pacers, man. Indiana's out there fighting, and they suffered a Nembhard injury. I hope that's not too serious. They suffered a bad Nembhard injury, and then Shepard comes in, and he was great. I will say one of the brutal things that happened, I believe this was in overtime. It seemed like OKC had this thing wrapped up. Seemed like it was over for the Pacers. Obi Toppin has a nice, like, tough lefty finish, I believe. The ball, Chet grabs the ball almost like instantaneously, like it's kind of like one ball fake, and then tries to inbound it. Toppin swipes the ball in the steal. And then they were given a timeout. Mark Dagnall was given a timeout, and they said it would happen before the inbound. And man, it like as the viewer, it definitely felt like a bullshit call. It seemed like on the floor, the players felt like that. I don't understand. They were like there was no like the broadcast was saying there's no angle of this. Are you telling me there's only one angle of the game? We don't have any other cameras that show another angle? Because I wanted to see Dagnall like talking to the ref calling timeout and have that matched up with Chet trying to inbound the ball. But that was kind of it after that. Happy birthday, Jaylen Brown. Hell yeah, dude. That's a birthday narrative for tonight's game. But anyways, look at this. We got Chet had 15 and 12. But look at SGA. 26 field goal attempts. For the first time in NBA history, the Oklahoma City Thunder start the season with two back-to-back double OT games. You can definitely see OKC is, I mean, not to take anything away from the Pacers. They are missing Jalen Williams quite a bit. And I think this is actually a case for J-Dub being better than people think he is because they're missing that second creator, just another offensive threat. But Aaron Wiggins got hot in the second overtime. He finished with 23 and 9 in this game. He stepped into the starting lineup because they were without Case and Wallace. Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet. I mean, Chet was fine. Isaiah Hartenstein, 14 boards, but man, offensively was just kind of like MIA. He ended up, I thought they said he fouled out, but I guess, no, they called that on Chet. That's right. Off the bench, though, AJ Mitchell helped me win 5K last night. Nothing but love for my king. He had 26 and 4 in this one. On the Pacers side of stuff, a little bit spicy P, right? 32 points and 15 boards in this game. Benedict Mathurin, the Canadian King. I'm here for Benny Math, man. It might be time. Oh, no Caruso either. Good call, regular. Thank you. Benedict Mathurin, man. 36 points, 11 boards, 3 for 8 from 3, 9 for 19. And I mean, he was getting the Dort treatment. He was cooking Dort. He was talking too while he was doing it. A really impressive game for him. Off the bench, something to pay attention to with the bigs here. I didn't think Isaiah Jackson got hurt. He just fouled the hell out of everybody. And then Carlisle just went away from him. Jay Huff only played 12 minutes. This is the main takeaway for me. Obi Toppin played 40 minutes. And again, this is a double OT game, but Obi Toppin played a little bit of 5. They got 10 minutes out of Tony Bradley. But Jarris Walker, baby. Jarris Walker became the overtime guy. He finished the game with 30 minutes, only 1 for 5 from 3, 13 and 4, 4 and 4, excuse me. But I'm excited about Jarris Walker moving forward. This is a good win for OKC. Tough loss for Indy at home because it did multiple times. Seemed like they had this. Spicy P hit some tough shots. Too generic in the chat saying Benny Math looked confident. They weren't lucky. No, Benny, I mean, he looks great, man. Mathurin looks really good. I thought that was a pretty impressive game from him. And from them in general, man. the Pacers in general, just like a pretty fun performance from them. I'm excited about. I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. 70 fouls in that game, though. Yeah, there was a lot of fouls. There was a lot of fouls in this one. Although I felt like there wasn't as much complaining. A couple of reviews that I thought were dumb, we didn't need, but for the most part, it was just a really fun game. Should mention Ben Shepherd, right? He had 15 points and 8 boards. He ended up playing 39 minutes. Again, that had a lot to do with the Nembhard injury, so we'll have to monitor that for Indy. But assuming Nembhard is out, I would just say Ben Shepherd's the one that moves in. Johnny Furphy, everybody was excited about. He played 1 minute. He played 1 minute last night. But I think Jarris Walker and Obi Toppin and Ben Shep, that's kind of the bench until we see TJ McConnell. Until we see him. Yeah, no LeBron, so fewer complaints. A+. Yeah, blame the refs game, baby. Blame the refs game. Let's jump over to the second game. Again, I stayed up late for this because we had a sweat. Normally, I would watch the first half, and then the second half, I would catch up in the morning. Am I like zoomed in too much? What's going on, fellas? All right, here we go. This game was awesome, man. Jamal Murray comes out. And he had like 3 steals in the first like 9 minutes of the game. I think he had like 10 and 6 or 8 and 6 at the end of the first quarter. The Nuggets are up 31-27 at the end of the first. They were up 9 at halftime. And then the Warriors come out in the third quarter, do Golden State stuff, outscore them 33-24. And then they outscore them 17-11 in the overtime. But let's start with Aaron Gordon, because Aaron Gordon, 10 for 11 from 3. I believe he started 8 for 8. He was stepping into shit. At one point, Golden State, too, like at some point, you have to take some responsibility. There was one time where it looked like they had a 3-on-2, and Pajemski was just like, go ahead, Aaron, take it. I'm like, yeah, but Pajemski, he's 7 for 7 at this point, man. I don't know. Make somebody else hit a shot at this point. Gordon was awesome. He only missed 4 shots the whole game, knocked down all 6 free throws, 50 points and 8 boards. We got back-to-back 50-point burgers last night between them. Regulators said Gordon tied the Terry Rozier record. You can't make this shit up, baby. You can't make it up. Cam Johnson, I got to tell you, he played 32 minutes. It's going to take a little bit of time, I think, for him to get used to the new offense, because he looked a little lost out there. The confidence wasn't in the shot. You fell asleep but crushed a 25x parlay. Let's go, Common Man. Let's go. Looked a little lost offensively. And again, I'm trying not to freak out too much about some of these teams where they have like a new nucleus or just players in a new system. Might just take a little bit, and I think Cam Johnson will be fine eventually. Got some open looks, just didn't knock him down. Again, Jamal looks healthy as hell, man. He was tired in the overtime, definitely was tired in the overtime. Finished with 25 and 10, 11 for 20. Missed some like wide open threes that were tough, but he looked good. Jokic, it was funny, man. 2 for 13 from 3, 8 for 23 from the field. And in real time, Joker did not look like he was having a great game. And as Jeb pointed out in Discord, and then you look and he's like, oh, he's got 21, 13, and 10, has a triple-double. I thought he looked okay defensively, too. Off the bench, just breaking news, huge for the Denver Nuggets to actually get a backup center. That was good to see. Jonas Valanciunas out there, played 12 minutes. Timmy Hardaway led the bench with 10 points, and then Bruce Brown and Peyton Watson also got into double digits minutes. But Golden State, I mean, Steph was the story, dude. I think it was Jamal Murray who had hit a 3. Or no, it was Aaron Gordon. One of those two guys hit a 3 at the end of the fourth quarter. There's less than a minute left. And at this point, I'm in second place winning $5,000. And I do not want this to go to overtime. I just want this to end. Give me my money. And with 40 seconds left, Steph hits this just stupid 3. This stupid 3, knocks it down, and then they go to overtime. And in overtime, the Warriors were just too much. Steph finishes 6 for 12 from 3, hits all 8 of his free throws, 14 out of 25. He had 42 points, 7 dimes, and 6 boards. Jimmy Butler, just like a great change of pace. Power Duster was making fun of me in the chat last night after it was over. The Butler Curry free throw thing is fun. That is fun. They're betting on who's going to have a better free throw percentage. And Jimmy was like, I think it's a pretty good bet, or it's a pretty bad bet, but I think it's a good bet. Something like that. It was a great quote. But they're making fun of me, being like, are you still sleeping on the Warriors? And I am. And the reason I at no point was I saying Golden State was bad. I did not love that they were picking them to win like 50 plus games. That seemed unrealistic. I will happily take the L. I'll happily take the L, man, because they do look great out there. Al, like the spacing that Al gives them is a lot. But yeah, they look good. I mean, Kuminga also looks pretty good out there. Draymond is doing Draymond shit. Like they do. They look nice, man. They do look nice. I mean, the bench is pretty thin. It's like Buddy, Peyton. You know what is a little bit of a revelation is Will Richard, who again only had 6 points and 5 boards, but he looks good, man. He looks good. Yeah, that block on Joker was nice. That Kuminga block was really nice. So that's a good W. I mean, the Golden State Warriors open the season. I think one thing we will learn is the Lakers aren't very good right now without LeBron. So, I mean, still a good win. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. This win was very impressive for Denver to get up a little bit early. Again, a 9-point lead at halftime, and then to kind of erase that in the third quarter. It was a really good performance. I'm still my take on them wasn't that they weren't going to win the first 2 games of the year. I just think this is an older team. Jimmy, Draymond, Steph, all guys that miss games. And then Al Horford, that was your backup big. Like, I think over an 82-game season, that's asking a lot for guys that can miss time. That was the take. It's not that they were bad. I even said in the same take that I could see them winning like 44 games and then a first-round playoff series, But it was a good win for them. Let's look at tonight's stuff because I think this is kind of important if you are in the underdog streets or getting ready for So Rare, but mostly in the underdog streets. So I was looking at these lines this morning, and because this is going after this Golden State game, right? Let's look at this. So Milwaukee and Toronto has a 6:30 start. Toronto's favored by 1.5. I think we're going to see no Kevin Porter Jr., right? So maybe Cole Anthony gets a little bit more run. Maybe it's just Ryan Rollins playing like 30 minutes. I don't know. But Toronto looking to go 2-0. Giannis, I believe, is probable. They gave him a weird tag again, but whatever. We'll bounce around. I want to start with the ones that are important. The Knicks opened at 4.5. It has now moved to 3.5. I was asked to be. I did an appearance last night. The New York Post has they've got their YouTube sports channel. It's got like 120,000 subs over there. But I was on I think it's called the He Got Game Pod with Brian Fonseca and Dexter Henry. And we were talking about Knicks Celtics tonight. And they had mentioned something that I hadn't heard. Like I knew it looked like Cat was going to miss the first game of the season. Then he ends up playing, right? I didn't realize it was like a grade 2 quad strain. The line opened at 4.5. It's now dropped to 3.5. I kind of think Cat sits this one. I kind of think Karl Anthony Towns sits this one. Memphis and Miami was another one I was monitoring. Memphis is favored by 2.5, and Ja Morant has a questionable tag. There's no world where Memphis is favored if Ja Morant's not playing, right? I mean, they'd be without Ja, Scottie Pippen Jr., Ty Jerome, Zach Edey, Brandon Clark. Like, there's no way. So I think Ja Morant is playing in this game. The other one I wanted to point out. Oh, the line has since moved. Interesting. All right. I was fading Golden State, guys. Golden State's favored by 1.5 on the back-to-back. I kind of thought we would see Jimmy Butler. I thought we were going to see, because when I looked this morning, the Blazers were favored by 1.5. Now the Warriors are favored by 1.5. And that tells me that at least one of Steph or Jimmy are going to play. I did not think they were going to play, but it now looks like they are going to play. So if that is the case, that changes things a little bit. The other one, Kings are favored by 5.5. That opened at 4.5. That makes me think Bone is back. Sabonis is questionable tonight. It sounded like he was going to miss way more time. It's the most Sacramento thing ever to rush him back. There's no reason to rush him back, but it looks like they're going to. So it looks like Sabonis is going to be in. That's what I'm planning on seeing Sabonis. So we'll see. Yeah, but yeah, the Warriors line did move. Now it's 2.5. Okay. Or so maybe maybe one of them sitting. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Jazz could be in first place in the division tonight. Huge for the Utah Jazz. Some other games. That was just like the betting angles. Atlanta and Orlando was fun to see if Atlanta can bounce back. Orlando's 4.5-point favorites. Atlanta gave up so many points to Toronto. I wonder if we see that again. The New York-Boston game will be fun. Cleveland, Brooklyn, no thank you. Oh, we get the Thompson twins battling it out. Houston versus Detroit, Amon versus Sarr. That'll be fun. Zion versus Wemby could be a good one. Spurs favored by 3.5. Second appearance of Dallas Flag. Cooper Flag and the Mavs. Then you got Minnie at the Lakers. No LeBron again. Luka, who has got a weird groin. And Austin Reeves, both of those guys should be good to go. We mentioned Golden State, Portland, and then Phoenix and LA. Do we see the Clippers? Clippers are favored by 9.5. Let's see if they can do it again. But that's one. My Sabonis bags for tonight looking better. Maybe I'll get second tonight, right? What's your take, cap play versus not percentage wise? I am. So I'll go over to underdog here and just show you what I'm doing. But my take is that he's not playing. I mean, if like again, if he was playing, the Knicks would be favored by a lot more. They'd be playing by a lot. They'd be favored by a lot more. In underdog, I am drafting Cat when he falls. If you are nervous though about if this is a DJP, is this about so rare? We should have that news, I would think. I don't think he'll be a game time decision tonight. I feel like we will know by late afternoon, maybe by the time live before lock is over. I don't know. I think, yeah, that's where I think I am. Okay, yeah, I think we'll know in time. But I want to tell you what I've been doing. So I've done 40 already. I normally don't do this much volume, but here's why. Here's why I did. I want to shout out my guy Nez, who gave me a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge about our friend Sabonis being a Q tag. Look at these. So these are some that I got last night. We had Wemby, Booker, KD, Brunson, Derek White, Sabonis. Sabonis in that 6th round. We got a lot of it here. Here's one with Sengun and Triple J, Harden, Reeves, Sabonis again. Another Wemby, Booker, this time Ja, Brunson, White, Sabonis. So we've had a lot of 6th-round Sabonis here. A Luka, Booker, Ja, Brunson, White, Sabonis. I'm trying to capitalize, too, on people maybe overreacting to some stuff that we saw in Game 1, right? Everybody was kind of freaking out about the Clippers. So Kawhi is like a 6th-round click. Harden's fallen. Booker, who kind of disappointed in that first game against Sacramento. I'm going back to the well on these guys. Jaylen Brown, too, who kind of disappointed. We got to play the birthday narrative now. But so I have taken some Cat, but I'm only taking Cat if he falls. Like some of my most recent drafts, I was taking him down here. I did take a couple of shares of Kuminga because I was basically full fading Steph. Just because Steph's right now, his ADP is like 13, and that feels like a lot. The other thing, too, they are on a back-to-back, so, like, they're back-to-back, and it's the Blazers defense. Not that anybody can slow Steph down, but, like, there was a time to maybe not do it. I don't know. I'm going to slow down on it. But that's kind of where I am right now. Let's go over to Splash Sports here. Let's check out Splash. Now that we've talked about gambling for a bunch and how it could be problematic, let's go do all of our sponsors. We've got a couple of contests for tonight. Oh, John W. in the chat. Let's go, Johnny Dubs. Sorry for your double overtime loss, but they fought hard last night. So yeah. Oh, I think we got a sneeze coming. Oh boy. So here are the contests we have tonight. We get the Friday night fight, and then we'll do a pick 'em after this. So $5 entry. I think we're paying top 10. Our guy Stubbs finished top 10 last night, I think. So we got Wemby, Luka, Giannis. That's good. I'm glad Giannis is on this slate because, again, underdog left the Bucks game off. Wemby against New Orleans. I mean, Yves Missy, I think, is questionable. I'm going to go ahead and take him. Of this range, I mean, I kind of like Harden the bet now. Paolo. I think Paolo could go absolutely nuclear. So could Devin Booker. So one of these two would be my next pick. Tier 3, regular season, Randall, White, Franzia. I think we just assume Jalen Brunson or Jimmy Butler, assuming either one of Steph or Cat are out. So we'll take Brunson in this one. Walker Kessler, Ranger against Sacramento, could get 100,000 blocks, but I think everybody's going to look at what he did last game and go back to it. I think in this range, it's either Reeves or Castle, and especially because I didn't play Luka, we'll play Reeves in this one. And then Kuminga would be a great click. Duran, I think, is kind of fun too. If we get an update on Mark Williams' numbers, that's cool. Klingon against Golden State, like he's going to be the biggest guy out there for sure. He should be able to get a ton of boards, but I might just go to the Zanger, poor Zangus. And then in the last tier, we got PJ Washington, play the drop. I think it's just going to be either Ahmed Thompson. The last round is crazy. That's another guy. Everybody, I think, is freaking out that Ahmed Thompson is not like that. He had a bad game, so he's not playing. Oh, Top Dog. Let's go, Top Dog. Thank you, Top Dog. That's very nice. Very nice. Thank you for the super chat, man. Appreciate you. Love a super chat. So that's what we're going to do on Splash for the pick'ems. But yeah, we're doing a $5 one. That's a big boy. And then I also did a single entry. So if you want to go against less people, just like a $10 single entry. We also have the Survivor. I think we're still alive in the Survivor contest here. So far, yeah, we've used SGA, Luka, Booker, Curry. So for tonight, wait, we know how to do this now. Tonight, I mean, Ant against the Lakers is a lock. Ant is a lock for sure to get over. Zion, I feel pretty well. Zion against the Spurs, I don't really know. Donovan against Brooklyn is fine. Trey, JB, I think JB for 20 tonight for sure. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try to use Ja this one, and then if Ja, so this is what you do: you pick one, but then if they're ruled out, they go to the second guy. So you pick an alternate. So I'm gonna pick Ja and Anthony Edwards in this one. Those are gonna be our picks for today. And then, anyways, yeah. So we got a couple of contests. Let's look at the final here because is this we won like the football one? Is this the one that Stubbs? There you go. There's Stubbs right there. Stubbs. Look at him stacking up his Chargers who got the W. Urbiop with the 26, Vidal with 22, and then a bunch of zeros in 3 and 4. But congrats on the money, baby. Congrats on the money. All right, let's do a quick picks. Let's see what we got in the quick picks. Confirm and continue. Do we have any lines that we like tonight? Let's do the NBA. We're not doing the NFL. I'm not built for the NFL. Yeah, play Ja while you can. Come on, I want to believe this year. I want to believe that Ja's back and ready to go. I'm a believer. All right, who's got the takes for tonight? I kind of like the idea of buying into Orlando here against Atlanta. I just like if that Atlanta defense really is that bad, I want to capitalize. Milwaukee should be pretty bad defensively too, I think. Giannis overs feel. I mean, I don't know. Portland. What do you want to do with Portland? You're just clicking Portland. You want to do Shade and Sharp? Let's look at Portland. I like Kling and rebounds. Let's see what Kling and rebounds are. Let's see what the Kling and rebounds. Let's look at our big white guy. 10.5 boards. 10.5 boards, right? What are you going to play Al on a back-to-back? I don't think so. There you go, Snoop. Evergreen. You're not going to play Al on a back-to-back. So who's he going against? Luka points is a good one too. Might as well play Luka. Sorry. So Kling and boards. Luka points. What's his points at? 31.5. That's so many, but I think you're right. What else we got? Let's see. Got any soft Golden State lines not accounting for Golden State outs? You want to check out Kuminga? I mean, I'm assuming Kuminga. Kuminga just seems like a smash tonight. Or Pajemski. 16.5 points. How about that? We could also do Pajemski. What is his like PRA? 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. I like this. All right, Klingon over 10.5 boards, Luka over 31.5 points, Kuminga over 16.5 points, Pajemski over 20.5 PRA. Let's do that. I can't actually submit it because we're in New York. I'll give you guys a sneak peek here of the underdog exposure that we have so far because I haven't looked yet, so I'm curious what my 40 looks like. Let's see if it tells me. That's only giving me 20. Come on, underdog. Refresh that exposure. I need that exposure ASAP. Let's see. Let's load the location. Okay. Oh, God. This is the worst. I bet if I do it on my phone, it'll work. And then all of a sudden it'll show me. Sometimes this app, man. Come on, boys and girls. I want to see where I'm at 40 in. No, it's just not going to tell me. I tell you who I have a ton of, though, is Domantas Sabonis. We have a lot of Sabonis here. This is through 20. I had 80% Sabonis. Let's see if I can do one more hard refresh, if that'll get us there. Sensabaugh, PRA. All right, I love a Bryce Sensabaugh line. All right, we got 40 now. We got Sabonis at 55%. No one's drafting Amen Thompson. I feel like they think Amen is so bad after cramping up in the first game. We got a lot of Ja, a lot of Booker, a lot of Harden, a lot of Kawhi, 27.5% Luka Magic. Okay, boys and girls. Okay. I'm going to do a lot of draft. This is going to be a slate where I draft very early this morning. Very early, I think is what's going to happen. We got to start the laundry, and then we're going to get back into the lab. All right. I think we might call it there unless you guys have anything else. Only 2 games. This is what we got. Don't forget, go check out that New York Post sports show. Let's see how many. I bet they don't have a lot of views. I want to see what that looks like. But go give that some love. I was on 15 minutes in. Was in and out of there. I did like 20 minutes. Let's see. I was in the thumbnail. 1.1K views. That's not bad. We're living over there. I'm in cramped up, locking down SGA apparently. But yeah, go check out this was your boy right here. This was your boy. Let's go share it. And then we'll be back at 5 o'clock for a little live before lock action. Our first real one over there. Okay, you have a lot too. There we go. We're in lockstep. Our guy Magi Carp has been locked in early. Like, I was the one that got the W last night, but I'll be honest, I barely had any Aaron Gordon and any Siakam. So I just ran hot with my one. You saw I had I think I did 40 lineups and I only had 8 cash or something. So listen to this guy. But that's going to do it. We'll see you at 5 o'clock. I hope if I don't see you there, I think you're a dick. But I also hope you have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday. We're back now 5 days a week. NBA Bit Monday through Friday. 89 Cavs will be back on Monday. We're out. We're cooking. Don't get caught betting. They're coming for you.